This is Crazy Dee. Welcome to this special episode of the BLKICE Chronicles. This clip that you're about to see is still only a test read, but it's so powerful in what it says and what it conveys that I decided to encore it, especially for Mother's Day. This clip is dedicated to those who still have their moms and for those who have lost their moms. When my mother was diagnosed with thoracic region cancer, that's the esophagus going down to the stomach area, she was healthy, she ate right, she had stopped smoking over 30 years ago. And it was a shock because it wasn't on the inside of her stomach, but it was a mass that they found through scans on the outside of her stomach, right where the esophagus and the throat connects to the stomach. And it was a mass right there that they found. They went in, did the surgery, but they found more cancer than what they expected, so they ended up putting a pouch in. It's something where they take the stomach out. Some people get a pig stomach, others get the pouch. I believe it to be more experimental because it was never discussed that they were going to go on ahead and do this. The surgery was originally just to remove that particular mass, but they said they found more. After the surgery was over, they told my mother that the cancer had spread to her liver, lymph nodes, other places within the body, which means that it turned into stage 4 cancer, terminal cancer. It was a shock. And then on November 25th, 2007, my mother passed away. She went from this side of heaven onto the other side of heaven. And really, if you don't have faith, if you don't believe in something, that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when the medical quote-unquote professionals say, oh, we caught it in time, it's routine, we can get this done, and that's it. But there's no guarantee, in my opinion, after what I went through with my mom. There's no guarantee once you go to the hospital for that they're really there to save you. That's just my opinion on it. When you walk into the hospital for that type of situation, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be walking out. So you have to be prepared, especially if you wind up on the palliative care wing floor area in the hospital. Then to go through it all over again 3 years and 1 month later with my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, that is really a hard pill to take. My mother-in-law didn't look as if she was sick. Then all of a sudden the symptoms just came down upon her. She thought that she was going in for a routine checkup. They run some tests. They tell her that they need to run some more tests, and they come back and tell her that she needs to go over to the larger hospital, This is not such a nice thing, and I want people to be prepared, especially on this Mother's Day, because there are a lot of mothers who are in the hospital right now who we hope and pray do come home. And then there's other people who may not have insurance who this will happen to, and it will be nasty. And then there's still others who are totally oblivious to what it is when cancer strikes. So I have to be very clear on this Mother's Day. We went to the hospital, and I'm walking through the hospital, and I'm like, this area sure does look familiar. We walk past, see the little decorations on the wall, little wood, multi-painted wood sculpture or whatever it is. I say, yeah, this looks familiar. We walk over to the elevator. I say, man, this looks familiar. We get on the elevator and we go up to the floor, and the doors open, and I get off, and I say, okay, well, all hospitals look the same, the floors when you get off. But then when we hit the hallway, the corridor, and I saw where it was, I said, oh no. And I thought that I was pretty well together, had kept it well together after my mother's passing, but everything came flooding back, walking that corridor every single day. Not being told the exact truth about why my mother was on that floor in that particular ward, palliative care. And I lost it. I lost it for about 20 minutes. I'm back there. We go back there. My wife's father kept on walking to the room. I lost it. My wife is trying to console me. I'm supposed to be strong for my wife during this time and what she's going through. I'm rolling all over the floor. I lost it for 20 minutes. Uncontrollable sobbing. This is real. This is what you will experience. I got myself together, and so we walked down the corridor, and there's one half that, hey, those are the people who have just come from surgery. They may leave and go home. And then when you hit the double-digit side of the hall, that's the side which I call the death side. You're not coming back, or you're not leaving that side. So once I found out that my wife's mother was on that side, I lost it again. But I wasn't rolling on the floor, but it was just uncontrollable crying. I couldn't believe it. I said, I can't believe it. It's like reliving history, or reliving something that was such a shock to your mental the first time, and to relive it again in such a short span of time is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. At least my mother-in-law was able to go to hospice, and their hospice, in my opinion, gave better care, because it's end-of-life care. It's getting the family prepared for what is ultimately going to happen. So my mother-in-law passed January 25th, 2011. So at this time, I'm dedicating this to my mother, my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, to all of those who have lost your mother, and for all those who still have your mother. Never take your mother for granted. And I'm going to let Tupac say it for me.
Hey, before we go into the song, I know everybody love their mama, but I want to talk about something else first. I want to talk about the people that don't have their mama no more. Because we all sometimes forget to appreciate our mothers. But like my little homeboy Mutar, he don't got no mother today. While we all shedding smiles and being happy, they can't be happy because they don't got no mama. What, Danny Boy, he's singing off for all of y'all mama. Danny Boy out here making everybody feel good. He ain't got no mama to hug him. We got to get back to that old school shit where we all care for everybody and all of us raise all these kids because we all out of hand. So last year about this time, I was sitting in a maximum security penitentiary. I couldn't sing this song for my mama, but I'm gonna do it today for all y'all and all y'all mamas. Dear mama, Peter. When I was young, me and my mama had beef. 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place.
Give your moms a hug for me. Happy Mother's Day. The BlackNile Chronicles. What's good, Mr. Supernatural? You bringing me some more of those supernatural tracks?
Not today, D, man. I just came up here to let you know my mother passed and the funeral is Saturday.
My condolences, homie. I didn't know. You should have told me. I would have went to see her in the hospital.
I knew you would have, man, but she used to love coming in here to shop. She said she loved seeing a black man, a young black male running above board business.
How are you doing? How are you holding up?
You know me, man. I'm doing the best I can, but it's hard. I didn't appreciate, what you told me when your mom passed, but I recognize it now.
Yeah, it's hard. No one's like mom.
How did you handle it, though? How did you do it? I mean, I can't help but to feel some kind of envy when I look at these dudes walking around with their moms.
Well, I tell people, give your moms a hug for me. I tell them, hug your mom every single day because you don't know when the end's gonna come.
That's what you told me, and kind of listened, but I was so wrapped up in my music that I didn't spend the time, man.
But you know what though? Your mother saw you win the spit boxing belt. She saw you release 12 CDs. Your mother saw you grow from a boy into a grown man.
Yeah. She didn't see me succeed, D. And that's what eats me about Cleveland, man. It's like, it don't matter how good you are, man. It's like these motherfuckers won't give you a heads up in this shit. They don't support. And it made people like me, regret the time I spent here, the time I could have spent with my mother.
Look, I know how it is. We all look at what we would have been doing if we had left the city. But the decisions we make, we have to live with. But you know what, man? Your mother loved you. She was the first one to bring your CD in here for me to hear.
Man, you played it on your radio show, man. Your mom made sure everybody heard my music.
Yeah, she sure did. All them people calling up to make sure I put your song in the mix. That was an incredible show.
Yeah, man. You know, you're right, D, man. My mother, she loved me.
She loved you.
She made sure I was ready for every show. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to go on without her, man.
Look, it's like what my mother told me about the time when her mother passed and she got so sick because of it that she wound up in the hospital. She said while she was laying there, she thought about her mother, how her mother would want her to go on, and from then she got herself together. And that's what keeps me going past the death of my mother.
So what you're saying is that she would want me to continue to live life and trying to succeed and thank her at the Grammys.
Man, exactly. Can't nobody stop you but you. I hope that was somewhat of a help, because when mom goes home, the world does get colder.
Yeah, it does get cold when she's gone, man. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
But the sun will come out tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
No, man, we ain't breaking into no musicals.
Hey, D, look, though. I do got some music.
Okay, where's it at?
It's out in the car.
Okay, man, go get it. I'm here to hear it and sell it.
It's on.
That's just great acting ability to bring the emotion that I was looking for when I wrote those words. It's two things that make an actor be able to bring that emotion: loss or disappointment. When this episode airs, make sure you watch it. It's one of the most heartfelt of the BlackNile Chronicle future episodes. I'm Crazy Dee. We'll see you next week. The BlackNile Chronicles.